Be sure to go to flipsidegaming.com and use promo code 6 for 10% off on orders over $10. Do the same at the Grizzly Gentleman. They're both fantastic deals and they help support the show. What is up, Planeswalkers? Thurk 6 back with more Magic the Gathering Arena. Wearing a sweet rainbow shirt. If I recall, I will put information in the description. But yes, today we are playing more Bolas, as it is Bolas's day. As usual, we're going to jump straight into the games. And after the games, we'll chat about the deck. Traditional historic, right? Cool. We're sticking with the instant speed Bolas deck that we played last week, and I really liked it. I made one small change. I swapped out the Dark Intimations for an additional Supreme Will. Haven't made any change to the sideboard yet. I need to get a little bit more information on the metagame and how the deck's how the main deck deals with the meta. Is she usually that short? I don't know. This hand, so this is another thing that I kind of recognize, is that the mana base is still relatively poor. I will mulligan that. This is a pretty decent hand to keep, and we likely just get rid of the commit here. Our opponent mulliganed as well, which is very nice to see. We'll play this tapped, and then next turn we'll play a Steam Vents untapped. So I've gotten a lot of very helpful information. Ooh. Do I have double black? I have Shadow's Verdict. Oh, Nicol, of course. But I have the ability to make double blue. So I think I am fine just making this black and passing. I can Censor. Next turn I can play Steam Vents. Untapped. And do I search? I mean, that's the thing, right? I actually think I'm just going to counter this. But that's kind of the thing about Search for Azcanta in a deck like this. In the early game, you really are wanting to play at instant speed. So Search has to come on a little bit later, etc., etc. Okay. So we have access to Supreme Will, which is pretty cool. We can also disallow if we want. Obsession. I think I'm actually going to disallow this. I want to see if they have an addition. They don't have an additional one. Interesting. So they went straight into combat. So that makes me assume that they don't really have much else that they can do, which is nice, obviously. So I can attempt to Narset. Narset would be pretty annoying for them if she can resolve. She might not be able to resolve, but I do think I want to try and get her down here. And she does resolve, which is fantastic. Now, I don't actually think... I don't think that they have the 2-1, the Flash Merfolk person, because I feel like they wouldn't have gone to... They wouldn't have gone to combat as fast, and they wouldn't have... my Narset wouldn't have resolved as fast unless they're actively trying to bluff.
Keep an open mind.
I don't hate that. Okay. Fantastic. Yeah, it's very difficult for these decks to play through a resolved Narset. So we love the Mystical Disputes here. We probably like the Thoughtseizes as well as like just all of the removal, right? Like, just bring in all of the removal. Commit is a little slow. Big Nikki B is a little slow. Medium-sized Nikki B is relatively slow. We're going second. So Censor is slightly worse. The Search for Azcantas are not needed in this matchup. And let's see. I don't think I want to go down to 24 lands. I could. Arguably, I could. I think I'll cut a single Gearhulk. So how do I win? Essentially, the way I win here, I think, is just kill all of their things, and then have one of these resolve. Which isn't the best, but, like, I think that's fine. And then, for what it's worth, they might just concede, right? We might not need to actually kill them. That's a yikers. Yeah, I can't keep this hand, right? Like, they mulligan, which is nice. We have, like, the turn 1 dispute. If we draw any land for a while, it's bad. This is much better. This is actually a fantastic hand here. And I think we get rid of one of the lands, because we just need these. So I think I'll get rid of, I guess, one of the Clearwater Pathways, right? Like, this is both blue and black? Yeah. Yeah. I think that's correct. We'll play this on turn 1. And they play a Storm Tamer, sure. And the plan is probably instant. So obviously, if they have an enchantment for the Storm Tamer, cool, they didn't. Then it would have been a little upsetting. We're just going to play this taps because we can, and we're drawing land, so I'm glad that I bottomed a land here. Okay, so they do have the Cutthroat here. But yeah, so we're probably going to instant speed, try and kill the Brightborn Cutthroat. I do need another black. Just a little pause there to make sure that I knew what we needed. Okay, so there's another Cutthroat. I actually think I'm just going to kill this Cutthroat. Yeah, I think I'm fine with that. Okay, they still don't have any cool things to put on their creatures. They missed a land drop, which is also quite nice. So I believe I will... Yeah, I'll just do the same. And if they don't flash anything on this turn, I'll be killing things at instant speed. That's fine. I want them... So they could have just blocked this with a Storm Tamer. But I would much rather... Interesting. So they can still block this. But I want them essentially just to tap down. To the point where I can play a Narset. Although Narset can just die, unfortunately, because this buffs. Yeah. Drawing that land, it did not help. So yeah, Narset could just die. Yeah, drawing. So we should have gone down a land, it seems.
My prowess is unmatched by my peers.
So the way this works is that damage is done, and the trigger will go on the stack, but my Narset will die before the trigger tries to resolve, so they will still be able to draw a card. So essentially the question that I'm going through my head right now is whether or not I activate Narset to try and get something. I guess I do.
Put thoughtfulness before action.
This is not the best. Like, obviously, if I still had a land drop, it'd be a little bit better, because then I could even just, like, make it so that this doesn't get to draw. But I was really needing a board wipe there. Obviously, still getting an Extinction Event or a Shadow's Verdict would be nice here.
I was not prepared for this.
Torrential Gearhulk is also quite decent. Fatal Push is actually great. So let's see if they get a little greedy and tap down here. They opt. They save it. Cool. The damage is technically less important than then continuing to draw. Okay, bottom is what we like to see. The damage is less important. We still need to find a way to kill the Brightborn Cutthroat, though. That is pretty rough. I still think it was correct to do it at the timing that I did. Alright, do they have a counterspell for Shadow's Verdict? I can pay for Censor, I can pay for Spell Pierce. Yeah, that's fine. Bottom, okay. Fantastic. So we are able to
Mighty warrior.
get rid of some things. They do have 6 cards in hand. That is helpful. Can you essence capture if you don't have a creature? I legit don't know. Fantastic. These are some good beats right here. They had Spell Pierce, fantastic. Brazen Bar to bounce it. That is less fantastic. Gearhulk. Huh. Gearhulk. We might need a Gearhulk and Essence Extraction. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I'm so worried about a Brazen Borrower and like I play my Bolas and then like it dies somehow essentially. That's big. That is huge. Also have a decent block on them. Fantastic. You love when they have counterspells that they can't do anything about. You don't love that, but we get to play this again and force them to discard again. 2, 3, 4. Abrade is nice to see. We're going to attack first. And the reason we're attacking here is because this can only block a subset of their creatures, 2 of which we've already gotten rid of. Like, essentially half of which we've already gotten rid of. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Brazen Borrower to play it into a counter. Ah. Got there. Pretty dope. Pretty dope. That counted for 4 pips, I guess, because we were in gold. That's good stuff. So, some of the hints, some of the tips that I got, a specific person gave me, in my opinion, some really good stuff. Is that one of the things I should do is in the middle, right, like here, I should say, hey, if you like my stuff, it would really help me out if you liked and subscribed. Both of those things really help out the channel, and the way they do that is by showing the channel to more people. Even if those people don't become subscribers or anything like that, just the channel being shown to them helps YouTube continue to show the channel to people, so that the community will grow, which would be pretty cool. So I will play first. I will keep this hand. And I got to turn 2, 3, 4, and 5. Play this tapped. Next one, we can play our Sulfur Falls. Kill something that we don't have nothing to kill. Then we can hold up a Supreme Will, either to counter something or to get closer to something else. Do I hold up the Supreme Will? Red-white. What are you playing? They have the Nahiri, but they also have the Graveyard. Red-white. I don't know what my opponent's playing at. I don't trust it. I do think I'm going to hold up the Supreme Will. If we don't end up using it, that's fine. Just using an Eliminate or something is also just decent here. And if they do play a creature that I can kill, I would use Eliminate. Getting the Trials. Target creature or Planeswalker. Hey, it's a Planeswalker. Sure. So it's Gideon Control. So I assume they're immediately going to do that.
Then a fight you'll get.
So before they get that... No, they can still Pact of Negation here. So yeah, that was stupid. I did... No, they would have been able to Pact regardless. Yeah, they would have been able to Pact regardless, unfortunately. Shoot. Because if I tried to counter it, they would just use Pact of Negation, and it would still happen, so... There's unfortunately not much we could have done there. Yep, become a dude.
I don't think so.
Shadow's Verdict. Hits Planeswalkers, yeah, that's pretty cool. 5 cards in hand. A Narset, we will counter that. So yeah, they're playing Jeskai Walkers. We may commit. Yeah, committing... Getting them to, like, pack themselves...
Stand down.
And, like, commit is pretty cool. I don't think I'll be able to get it, though. Please go away. So if they pacted there, or cast pact, I should say, and then I Shadow's Verdict, it would have been hilarious. All right, so let's go ahead and kill this Gideon. Okay, so they have 3 cards. I have 3 cards, but I have a Planeswalker on the board. They do not. If I can get an untapped land, I'll be able to hold up a Gearhulk. Did not, but did I? I did. So yes, now I can hold up Gearhulk, which is pretty dope. Looks like our opponent's going to get rid of a land, which means that they really value these cards. They have a Teferi off the top, but we do have a Gearhulk into a counterspell. And we will pass. So, I think that we played this as well as we could have. That's interesting. So yeah, my opponent really... Cool. Yeah, I do think that we played this as well as we could. My opponent seemed to not want to do certain things. Mystical Dispute, Thoughtseize is for sure. I think that's kind of it. Extinction Event we don't want. We still do want Shadow's Verdict. Eliminate we still want. We don't need the Fatal Pushes. Let's see. Right, but what I was saying is I think I am best, at least in terms of Arena, playing Bolas. Partly because of the amount of practice I have with it, but also just feels right. We're going second. Is Censor still good? I still think Censor's fine here. The Mystical Disputes technically aren't the best if they're trying to just like get in early, but it can get rid of a Pact of Negation. There's not really much that I want to get rid of here. I guess we can get rid of a single Shadow's Verdict. That might be fine. Could get rid of a single commit, but I think getting rid of one of the Shadow's Verdict is probably best. My opponent doesn't know about the eliminates. However, frankly. Interesting. We're going second, but we have nothing to do until turn 3. I guess we could technically turn 1 tap Shockland, turn 2 Drowned Catacombs into cycle Fetid Pools into Disallow. The biggest issue there is the fact that going second means that if they can get a Gideon under us, it may be too difficult to fight back from. That said, it's very difficult to argue with keeping this hand. Ooh, a Censor. That is very nice to see. We'll start off with a Steam Vents. I could have technically Shocked there to pretend that I have a Dental Vanguard. Very interesting. So they went for the switch into a more aggressive style deck, which I do think that is necessary. Very similar to what I did for my Gideon tribal deck, or what I planned to do for the sideboard. We'll still go ahead and cycle this. They decide to keep this up, so I do assume that they have something like an Absorb or something. I don't really want to hurt myself here. Censor is still going to be able to get most things done, so I do believe I'm just going to play this tapped. And I play that just because it gives us 2 of each color, since it's 1 of each shock, or 1 of each duel. So yes, we're still holding up Censor. And soon-ish we'll be able to Contempt this and probably get it countered. We're not going to cycle Censor, I don't think. Do you want to cycle Censor here? So, cycling Censor here means that it'll be, well, we're not going to be able to hold up Contempt and Censor. Yeah, I think we do just cycle this. Eliminate, unfortunately, destroys, does not exile. We will just play... So, if this said exile, we would have liked to keep the Censor with it, but I do believe we just play this tapped. I guess, technically speaking, I should have played the Watery Grave tapped, but it doesn't matter all that much. We have Supreme Will and Disallow. We also have potential for Eliminate. May end up losing this game just to return to a Donto Vanguard. Reasonable. 5 mana. And they keep shocking themselves for some reason. Question is, will I Supreme Will? Yes, I will. Let's see if they want to counter this. It's really strange that they've just been shocking themselves here. Mystical Dispute, I actually love here. They will know about it, but being able to Contempt this and hold up Dispute, especially since we just drew this. Yeah, that's pretty big for us. And we don't want to do it on our turn, because we don't want them to be able to untap and do something, right? We want to do this while we have the essentially the impetus too. Own of the Sea, that's fine. Theoretically, I could do this now. So they don't know about, right? You don't have to reveal it. They don't know about my Mystical Dispute. Oh yeah. So the reason here, the thing I'm thinking through here is, do I want to press the issue now, thinking that they're less likely to be able to actually do anything about it, but recognizing that my shields will be down for anything that's potentially more powerful. And I think I would rather have my shields stay up. The side effect of that, obviously, is the fact that they're getting this Omen for functionally free. The double bottom is very nice to see there, and they do still have the ability to sack this Omen to scry. They decided not to, so I assume whatever they drew is decent here. All right, so they will attack, and I'll still take the hit. So my opponent practicing good Magic gameplay here. Go ahead and try and kill this. They cast Mystical Dispute. I might as well force them to deal with this, because then it leaves my Bolas open. So notably, if we played this Watery Grave when we should have, I wouldn't have to hurt myself to play this Bolas. Unfortunately, this does destroy. I could commit. Let's see. Yeah, this is very unfortunate. I'd have to go down to 6, which is very dangerous in the situation. Definitely dangerous. I think I will do it, but yeah, see, this is kind of what I was talking about. It may not have seemed like much, but it's the reason I pointed it out as soon as I did it. It's because I recognized the value of that black mana over the red mana. What do they get rid of? A land, sure. Yeah, so going down to essentially half life here is not great, especially since our shields are also down. They do attack me, which I do believe is correct. Now, I could see a Chandra here. No Chandra, interesting. I have a Gearhulk, which is pretty sweet. There's no point in trying to destroy this. I literally can't. A Nikki B. So they have three cards. Yeah, I mean, the biggest issue here is just the fact that they can counterspell me, and there's nothing I can do about it. Yeah, as long as they just have counter magic, there's not much that I can do. So if they tap... Yeah, they didn't even tap for Omen of the Sea. Do they have counter magic? I guess I should have held on their upkeep. Yeah, I guess I should have held on their upkeep. Before... No, I needed another land would have helped so that I could instead commit Disallow. But unfortunately, I couldn't. And see, I mean, this is the difference that that one land drop made. The fact that I'm on 3 and not 5 here. Yeah, I just have to hope they don't have a counterspell. But based on this, it makes me assume that they do. I forgot they have Omen of the Sea, so that could be the only thing that's making this stop here. Looking at my Bolas. Back at the Azcanta. Counter target spell. Alright. Okay. I don't really think we changed much. No, it was mostly the fact that they were able to go first and hit us there. I guess I could have gotten rid of a commit. Meh. I don't like this hand. I don't like this hand either. I hate you, deck. Yeah, this is upsetting. This essentially is like the first hand, but worse. Okay, that's slightly helpful at least. I'll have a Mystical Dispute. But if they play another Vanguard on 2 here, then we're free to go. They didn't. Interesting. We didn't draw a land, unfortunately, but we do still have access to Dispute. That's fine. They really like to shock themselves, though. Top, bottom. I prefer to see top, or bottom, bottom. Vanguard, yep. Nothing I can do about it. Only I drew a land last turn. I could have countered that. Why would it ever tap like that? I figure it's better to concede there. That way I can get another game in. Match. I can get another match in. That's frustrating. Yeah, the second game, right? Game 2 of match 2. I think we played as best as we could, but unfortunately our opponent going first and hitting that Azcanta Vanguard early is just very difficult. I really want to emphasize the extent of that misplay, of just that, of playing the wrong land, right? To many it may seem innocuous, but the fact that I recognize that immediately kind of tells you how comfortable I've gotten with this deck. I will keep this hand because we have a search. Yeah, I'm very frustrated with myself because if I had taken just a mere moment additional, then I would have known, right? I immediately recognized that it was a very bad situation for me. And I would have had at least one more turn. And one more turn essentially just to capitalize on to capitalize on my Nicol balls and stuff. Chandra Torch of Defiance, no. We don't love it since we didn't draw another land, but we will keep this. Go. Oh. And we will just play Bolas. They could just play land Muxus. Like, I'm not gonna lie, but land and Muxus. See what they get. Nothing great, luckily. Obviously, they get to search for stuff, which means, you know, more Muxus and whatnot. But that could have been worse. Definitely could have been worse. I guess they could sack this stuff to play the Chieftain. They didn't get another Muxus. I think that was wrong. Unless they already have another Muxus in hand. In which case, it is what it is. Oh my gosh. So I could just odds here. Could just odds here. I'm not going to attack. I know that they have a Chieftain. 7 mana, so they can play Chieftain and Krenko, so they can activate Krenko immediately. Make Muxus pretty big. Very unfortunate. I think we even get rid of the Gearhulk, don't we? We definitely get rid of this. I don't think we need Narsets. So I guess we'll get rid of one Gearhulk. How does it look to me? This looks fine. Let me just double check. Yes. I guess commit can help. Do I like it better than anything else? Do I like it better than the other Bolas? Yeah, I do. For that one, I'm not sure if we misplayed or just got unlucky. That's a good hand. I could play this as a black source now. I'm just gonna do this though. Next turn, play this. I have one of these to do. Cool. Getting another land here is quite nice. Wily Goblin. Yeah, I think I just want to try and stem the tide. So they could play Chandra Torture Defiance here. But we have no answers to that anyway. Krenko is fine. It's not the best, but it is fine. I think we'll cycle Fetid Pools first. I hate this game, so I'm gonna do this. Okay, so we do have a next turn answer to Krenko. We still can potentially censor something. If our Nikki B dies, we can kill the Krenko. I just have to let that resolve. Muxus, who would have thought? Mind Stone. That is very interesting. So what that means is that potentially, I think I have to censor this here, because potentially they're going to be like, with that they could just be able to play Muxus. This version of goblins is very interesting. Very interesting indeed. Another fatal push. Crap that we don't need. Yep. Okay, yeah. If I had not had countered this, they would have still been able to pay for it anyway. Oh, you know what? I need to kill this now, I think. I should have done it earlier, but I'd probably still die here, because I mean, I don't think it matters. I think I'd probably just die. Yeah, I just die. I have to block here, so I guess I can kill that. Okay, so I'm not dead. I have to block here. I get to kill this, but I need a board wipe. I need Extinction Event. Yep, I didn't get it. Very frustrating. Wait, what? I thought I lost the... What? Shouldn't there be 2 losses? What's going on? What's going on with my tracker? No. Stats and tools. We're playing... this one? Yes? Oh, okay, yeah. They didn't have... It's fine. It's freaking out, but it's fine. Unfortunate, though. As usual, we're going to go in and do the typical after-deck analysis. The match against goblins wasn't fantastic. I'm not sure exactly what I could have done. What was the other one I lost to? It was the Jeskai one. Yeah, we went 1-2 against the Jeskai one. I think the Jeskai one was a fluke, essentially. I think the fact that we had to mulligan down to 5 and still didn't keep a very good hand is what cost us that match. For goblins, we kind of just got ran over. It's possible I didn't keep very well. I guess it's also possible that I have more board wipes. Somewhere in the 75. Not sure exactly where. Not sure exactly where. I still need to fix my mana base. I feel like it needs a lot of improvement. I personally don't know how to improve it. Are the commits worth using? Right, would it be better to have something besides the commits? That's kind of where I'm at now. The Censors is a 2 I still think is fine. Just like the deck overall, I still think is fine. Sideboard generally, I think is fine. We might not need Cling to Dust, but as soon as we take those out, we're going to come across decks that we need it against. But yeah, right now for the sideboard, I'm thinking the Cling to Dusts are on the chopping block, and the Commit Memories are on the chopping block. No idea what I would replace the commits with. The Cling to Dust, though, I think if I were to remove those, it would probably be for Languishes, potentially. Just things to help out in go wide decks. Yeah, let me know what you all think in the comments down below. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'd like to thank my lovely patrons, especially Fogwin, Malik, and Balater, for the continued support. If you'd like to join them and support the show, you'll find links in the description down below. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And of course, until next time, I will be one.